Fuck! Anyway. Hi. Don't question the screaming I just did recently. I just had to, put someone out of commission, to say at least. And so, welcome to another Dying Light 2 video. This is going to be a much more different one, as always. Oh my god, how many times have I said that? I need to increase my vocabulary use.
Are you that stupid?
Okay, anyway. Hello and welcome to another Dying Light 2 video. Instead of talking about a specific topic or a gameplay mechanic that Dying Light 2 has, instead I'm going to present my own little idea that I have that I feel like should have been in Dying Light 2. And that is a bounty/wanted system. To explain it briefly, just imagine like the wanted system from GTA and the bounty system from Red Dead Redemption. And I know you might be thinking, oh well, that's just going to be boring and generic. Well, it might be, but think of this, right? The peacekeepers are meant to be this like military type, or like are supposed to be like the main police officer type, you know, type of shit. It's like they're all about law and order and shit. Hi, fucking, I don't know. I'm already bored about talking about them. Alright, anyway, let's get back into the topic. So, the way it works, basically, you start off with bounty level 0. Well, I will briefly explain all the mechanic, but first I'm going to briefly explain why I feel like this should be a thing. This is just basically emphasizes on Aiden being more careful with what he's doing, because at the moment you can literally just run around, kill innocent people without having any sort of any sort of consequences whatsoever. It's not gonna be that deep, like GTA's wanted system or fucking Red Dead Redemption's bounty system and shit, but I'm just giving up my general idea. The general idea of this is just basically add a small little mechanic that that should spice things up a bit. So, imagine in a scenario where Aiden can have like a wanted system on him, where he would see a poster of his face saying that Aiden is a wanted man, whether it be murdering a civilian, murdering PK officers, stealing, etc., whatever, committing war crimes and shit. I don't fucking know what Aiden does. But imagine in a scenario where he committed a crime, essentially. And so he has two options. He can either get arrested, or he can pay it off, in a way. And I will briefly explain to it how it would work in my thought. So the wanted system would essentially work the same way as GTA, but not exactly, not like a chase type. No. So there will be 4 levels of the wanted system. The level 1 is just like nothing, basically. Like, well, I would say maybe level 0. That would be the nothing one. Basically, you've done nothing wrong so far, yada yada yada, you get the gist of it. And in level 1, the PKs would try and arrest you, but in a much more calmer way. They would slowly approach you and try to detain you, essentially. And you have a choice to let them arrest you, or you can fight back and run away, but this would cause your bounty and wanted level to rise up. How would your wanted level be risen up? Well, it would be in a progress bar, where if someone witnesses you doing a crime, it would fill up a specific percentage. Say if someone witnessed you committing a crime, and they go back to their base, or like their homes to report it, then your wanted system would be increased by say like 10%, it would fill up like a bar. And I feel like this is something that should have been a thing, but, you know, whatever. It's like if a PK or a survivor like witnessed you murder someone, instead of them like trying to fight you or some shit, they would run back to their base and report you for doing that specific crime. And you do have time to stop the witness, of course, because remember, no witnesses. We kill any fucker that lays eyes on us. But hey, I'm getting out of topic once again. And so that's pretty much how your wanted system would essentially raise up. If you do a specific crime and then some people notice it, then you would essentially have the progress bar be filled up. And once it's at 100%, it would progress to wanted level 2. At wanted level 2, they would just basically immediately fight you and try to detain you instantly, but with a bit more aggression. And they would start to roam around the city to find you, essentially. And on wanted level 3, they would actually search around rooftops this time. Because on level 2, I feel like they should only roam around on the streets to find you. But on level 3, they only roam around, they begin to roam around the streets, on the rooftops, and etc. Causing you, or forcing you to be much more careful. And you can't really hang around in the PK base for too long, otherwise they'll realize that there's a fucking criminal just chilling in their base. So, if you have a, a territory that is controlled by the PKs, kiss your ass goodbye. That's all I can say. And the same thing applies to the survivors, where they won't let you in unless you pay it off or you get arrested in a certain way. And on level 4, this is where I feel like it gets more interesting. Every, say, like maybe 20 minutes, 15 minutes, there would be a group of 7 peacekeepers sent to your location. Not like teleport to you, but they would like come out of nowhere and try to fight you. And if you avoid them or like kill them, they become much more stronger onto the next encounter. This goes on an infinite number until you are arrested or you are completely dead. So they would essentially send like a bounty hunters to hunt your ass down, and they would become much more aggressive. And they would have like a specific like route on where they patrol. It's like I feel like if you kill a peacekeeper and you find a map of like their routines, then you might get like a general idea of where they might actually like patrol around, unless you sit back and just observe them. And the bounty system is the same thing like in Red Dead Redemption 2. Depending on how many crimes you've committed, there will be a specific amount of gold or like money placed on your head. Say if you have like a... Hello fuckheads, this is Random from the future. One thing I forgot to mention in the video is that renegades are also able to hunt your ass down, but only after 30 minutes. Because after 30 minutes, a group of 10 renegades would approach to your destination and kill you just so they can trade your body in for the amount of gold. So say if you have an example 20,000 gold placed on your head, a group of renegades will try to claim that bounty for the peacekeepers and to, well, sail you out basically. But if you kill those renegades extremely quickly, well, not exactly quickly, but if you kill the renegades that are like chasing you down or like trying to hunt you down, they will drop an extremely powerful weapon, maybe at legendary quality, or maybe drop you like legendary armor. So there is some sort of reward for you essentially. But the thing is, these enemies deal so much damage, they ignore some of your armor, and they deal high amounts of damage, and there's a high quantity of them. So you can either try and escape them, or try to fight them, risking it, so you can get more loot. And that's it. That's all I can say so far. Goodbye. Wanted level 3 and then you committed like multiple felonies, multiple robberies and whatnot and other stupid shit. Why am I saying robberies? You can't really rob in Dying Light 2 as far as I'm aware. But I'm getting out of topic again. But what I'm saying is that the bounty system is... it's just like a price on your head that you have to pay it off essentially. And so it can just go to like you can go to like the Peacekeeper headquarters and request to pay your bounty off, and it will cost a certain amount of money. Like murdering someone would cost like 500 gold, stealing would be like 350 gold, and etc. and etc. and etc. And so it's just basically something that you have to pay off if you want, of course. Or, and another way to like reduce your bounty level or your wanted level is, as I mentioned, by paying it off, or by helping people. Whenever you get those specific encounters where you're helping a peacekeeper from the renegades, or you're like saving a survivor from the biters and shit, then that would like reduce your wanted level and your bounty by like say 25% in my opinion. It shouldn't really reduce to the point where you don't really have to fucking worry about it, but it should reduce it to the point where you're like, okay, I have enough time to, you know, patch things up perhaps. And you might be thinking, well, what exactly happens when you're arrested, to say at least? Well, I'm thinking of a small little mini-game in my head where you're in a prison and shit, or you're like in a locked up cage where you can like lockpick yourself out, but you also have to go around and find your gear because they confiscated it, and now you have to fight your way through it or sneak your way around. So imagine the big boat on the Peacekeepers, whatever it's called. Is it called Betty? Sammy? I don't fucking know what the big boat's name is. But imagine you're in prison, and every guard is like asleep, or like there will be a few guards that are like patrolling around, and then you lockpick yourself out, you try to find your gear, and then you get the fuck out. And once they realize you're out, they will become more aggressive and much more tougher against you. And that's pretty much it. I don't really have any other opinions or thought about this whatsoever, or like I can give out any sort of ideas, but this is what my idea for Dying Light 2. I did post this on the forums. Well, not exactly forums, but more like in the game gameplay section ideas. I don't know what's exactly called, but it's where you post your ideas and shit. But, I feel like this type of mechanic would actually spice things up. I don't know how hard it would be to program, because I want to become a game developer, fun fact, and I understand that creating this type of mechanic can be a little bit difficult, and so I don't really blame them if they don't want to implement this specific mechanic. But I feel like it would really spice the game up a lot, and so you can't just simply just run around and fucking, you know, just like ignore every law and just kill anyone you want. No, it's like, the funny thing is, like, you can kill hundreds of peacekeepers and hundreds of civilians, and if you go and talk to Jack Matt or fucking or someone else, they will be like, oh hey Eden, it's good to see you. Don't worry about the 500 men you just killed like 5 minutes ago. Ah, you're fine, you're like a son to me, my boy, and whatnot. This is like, it's so funny, the fact that they don't really give two singular fucks that you like killed like half of their men in like a split second. They just treat you like a brother. It's like, ah, he's a young kid, let him be. Kids these days don't know how the world works, so let him be, you know? It's like, having some sort of wanted / bounty system for Aiden would be very interesting and very fitting for Dying Light 2 because of how strict the Peacekeepers are. Because, for some of you that don't know, the Peacekeepers are very strict. They are, well, I wouldn't really say they're like equivalent to North Korea, but like, I would say they're very, very strict. It's like, if they catch your ass stealing a fucking rock in a Peacekeeper territory, they would hang your ass. It's like, even if you steal the most dumb shit, like even the most useless thing that they have, they would literally hang you and leave your corpse to rot in a fucking fire. That's how brutal and strict they are. But in gameplay wise, they're just like another fucking punching bag for you and for the zombies, essentially. And so, yeah, I feel like this type of mechanic should be a real thing in Dying Light 2, but hey, I highly doubt it they'll add it because I'm a small YouTuber. Nobody really gives a shit of what happens to me. But hey, let's not bring the mood down. And that's pretty much it for Dying Light 2. I'll most likely upload another video on a different game, but on what game you might be thinking, I don't really know. But we'll see. For now, thank you for watching, and have a great fucking day. Adios.